Hey guys, this is question MM058 of the Maths Methods Sharpened Study Guide. So this question is talking about two graphs. We've got a graph y equals f of x and y equals g of x, and they're both shown below. So we've got one here and one here. Doesn't really matter which one is which. We're trying to find the graph of y equals f of x plus g of x. So the first thing to note, the first important part of this question, is to note the domain of each one of these graphs. So we can see that the domain of this parabola is all real numbers, judging by what we can see. And judging by what we can see of this graph, which looks to be a log graph, it looks like the domain stops at 0. So that's probably a safe assumption to see with this, which means that the graph of f of x plus g of x also has to have the domain 0 to infinity, because whenever you have a sum function, the domain of that sum function must be equal to the intersection of the two graphs individually. So immediately we can discount A, D, and E because they have a domain of all real numbers, which is not the domain that we're looking for. So that leaves C and B. And the way that we distinguish between C and B to find out which one is the correct answer is I like to look at a certain x value on the graph at a certain point. And if you look at the two y values here at this point, at the sort of quite close to the y-axis, they're both negative. They both have a negative y value, which means that when they're added together, no matter what, these are going to equal a negative number, which means that close to the y-axis, the graph of f of x plus g of x also has to be negative. Not positive like in B. So in B it's positive, in C it's negative, which is exactly what we want. So it can't be B, and our correct answer is C.